All right, Mrs. Green. What was it about the character that really drew you initially when you first read the script? And, you got pitched the character.
I mean, honestly, I would have voiced a turtle. I mean, I think the idea of voiceover for animation is easily one of the coolest things you could possibly do in the entertainment industry as a performer. It really spoke to me on the level of I could be my most creative self, and there was no vanity involved. It doesn't matter how old I am. It doesn't matter what gender I am. It doesn't matter what I look like. There is nothing about my physical appearance that has any bearing on what I can bring to the character. It is just creativity at its purest.
Well, I love your character. She's great heart.
Great heart.
I would argue a bit messy.
Yeah.
A bit is that kind of the fun where you get to play even a lot of dramatic stuff? We'll get to the comedy in a moment.
Yeah.
But she's a really great character dramatically. Was that to kind of help you ground the character a little and also have a little more fun with the comedy?
Yeah, for sure. I tend to approach everything I do in comedy as playing something grounded and then letting the comedy kind of come. To me, that's when comedy is at its funniest. When you push things, to me, that's not as funny. Yeah, it really was just kind of like living in the quietness, living in the grounded nature of a human. And, the comedy really comes from the circumstance that character is put in. And then letting the writing and the world that was created for that character to live in, and that kind of create the comedy.
Is there any particular comedic moment that, you're all proud of all your moments, I'm sure. It's like children, you all have children. But was there one like, oh my God, I really love this scene, episode, sequence? There was something we really kind of pulled something off that was amazing.
There was a scene where I deliver this line where I can't remember where I think we were like in the kitchen. We were in a house or something, and the police were there. And then it was myself and another character, and the police were there, and the police didn't care about us. And one of my lines was, "That's because we're white." And to me, I enjoyed the very realness of that moment and the gravity of that statement where it's like, yeah, we are of no consequence to the police because we are white. And, the privilege of being white, and then also calling out, being able to be in a position of white privilege as that character to call out the racistness of that moment was really fun, both on a level of societal critique, as well as, the comedic moment of like, oh, well, we are white. We are very white.
And going back to the beginning, what was your reaction the first time you saw your animated character and your voice over it? Like the first
oh my
moment,
God.
something like
I was like, I'm a blonde with a big butt. Okay. I was expecting but the character is just like a little mouthy Jew girl, which is what I am. So I was just like, oh, I'm just playing a version of myself. And then when they made her blonde with a big butt, I was like, oh, okay, I am a thick blonde lady. So it was really fun. It was fun to see that I get to be, myself in my voice, well, a version of myself in my voice, and then kind of a different physical embodiment of a woman, which is very fun.
And that's something interesting because we have a lot of students who watch the audience. Voice acting does a little more freedom then. You can really explore character in a way that you cannot do. Any one of us could do it live.
It's incredible. You really get to bring a character to life in a way that you will never be able to do with on-camera work. Because when they're hiring you to do on-camera work, they are hiring you to embody a look and not just a character. Yeah. So for this, it's like, well, who are you in your voice? What can you bring to a character with just your voice, with just your creative mind? And it's really it is so, I cannot express how rare it is to have that in this business. There are a lot of animated shows, but the world of voiceover is very small. And to kind of break into it, you really have to know someone. It is not, a lot of people are like, I want to get into voiceover. And I'm like, good luck. It is really hard to get into voiceover. But once you're in it and you're able to do voices for a TV show, oh my gosh, it is truly the purest form of creativity to me. This is something I think about all the time. whenever I'm going to a voiceover audition or I'm doing a voiceover job, I'm like, oh, this is the best thing I get to do in all of the different types of performance I do. It really, really is. It speaks to my soul as a performer.
It's one of the things I always think about. Is always says, we get paid to do this.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome.
It's incredible. Like, it's crazy. And like, you know, I do stand-up comedy, and whenever I'm on stage, I'm like, oh my God, I get paid to make people laugh. But it really is, I have to say, like, doing voiceover it's satisfying in a way that even stand-up comedy can't touch.